So, get up in here. That is what we brought here to Carolina. Where exactly am I at? I am in, it is hot. I don't think that's too close now. Let's see. I'm in Georgetown, South Carolina. Is that where, is this where Michael Jordan played basketball? Georgetown? Or was it a different state, Georgetown? I'm not 100%, but get this APU on. Might get myself something to eat here, fix myself something to eat. But yeah, we're just waiting to get unloaded. And then we're gonna swing around and pick up some drywall. Same stuff they take this paper to make the drywall with, or dry rock, whatever people call it, wall board, whatever. But stay tuned. It's probably gonna take me a while to get loaded because so the place I'm at, I had to drop my trailer and wait to get it. It'll get pulled in to the place. So I mean, that's pretty much what it looks like. So I had to drop my trailer. It's on the other side over there, and then they'll just pull it in and load it, and then they'll bring it out, and then I can strap it and all that stuff. Apparently I put it in a bad spot because the guy just told me next time find a better spot to put it in, and I was like, hopefully there won't be a next time. I hate picking up wallboard. But anyway, I mean, the dude told me to park it anywhere, so I wasn't sure, you know. It is what it is. But hopefully it's in the way, and they will just go ahead and grab it and put it in and get it loaded. So people. I need to tell y'all the story about the time I almost got in a fight. I don't know, I might do it this video. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how the day goes. But anyway, stay tuned. So that's that. This is the, let me see if I can get you a look. You can see it. But basically it's the drywall. It goes, I mean, basically you put it on the walls and stuff. But so see those, the edge protectors? They want us to use like some wooden V-boards or whatever you call them. But me personally, I don't like using them. That's why I went out and bought these boards. They work a lot better, for me at least. But anyway, we're all strapped up. Yeah, let's go in the truck where it's quieter. All right, man, it is loud. I parked right next to the air vent thing. But yeah, we loaded up with some drywall basically. It's hot. So I got loaded and everything in, okay, I guess about 3 hours it took me to, this whole thing. It took me about 3 hours to untarp and unstrap the load when I got here, to getting this load, dropping my trailer, doing all that, and getting loaded and securing this one. Took me right at about 3 hours. So I got about 5 hours left on my clock. I should make it at least to the outside of Atlanta. That'll be great if I can do that. What time is it right now? So it's 12. So I should make it around 5 o'clock. So I should still be good to get going in the morning. So anyway, that's that. I'm surprised they did it this fast. I'm trying to get a shower tonight, so hopefully I can get there and get that done. But anyway, that's that. It says this load has to be tarped. I'm hoping it doesn't have to be tarped. But not only, I'm not sure if I got this load before or not, but this will be the first 2-stop delivery I've had since I've been here at Central. I'm dropping off in Macon, Georgia, and Tampa, Florida. And it's funny because I'm going to be in Sarasota Friday. So I'm dropping down to Tampa for delivery on Thursday, and then I'm turning right back around and going down to right up under Tampa at Sarasota on Friday for a wedding. So I'm hoping I bounce home, or I deadhead home empty to deliver this load. What's my AC? No, it's not on this one. So I'm just creeping around the back here. It's supposed to be going to Bay 3. I'm assuming it's right next to these fellers over here. Oh, well, Bay 3, somebody's in Bay 3, so I guess I will just pull up over here. I should have stopped back there, I guess, but I assumed Bay 3 was open. So I'm just gonna pull right here and wait for Bay 3. So, interesting week. Not really interesting, but just this is the first time I've been like doing these short loads. I should make it back to, well, I say back to, but I picked up in Georgetown, Carolina, South Carolina, and I took that load to Atlanta, Mapleton, Georgia, right, basically Atlanta, and dropped that off this morning. Got this load, bounced over here 2 hours to Birmingham, and now take this load, like I said, to Macon, then Tampa. Like I said, Thursday. If I pick up a load Thursday, I'll probably pick up at the port, or I'll pick up right there in Plant City, which is one of my favorite places to pick up, is Plant City. Because they're super fast at loading you, pretty much regardless on what time you get there. It's pretty quick right there in Plant City. Like I said, that was one of my favorite places to go in with TMC. But I've been to Tampa before with Central, and I bounced all the way up to Marietta, Florida, which is a good 4 hours, I think, to pick up some wood there. So it ain't no telling. At least with the bounce here, I get paid for the bounce. So that's why it's not really a big issue. With TMC, it was a big issue because you get paid by the load. But so it'll be interesting to see where I go Thursday. I should be there Thursday morning. So wherever I go, hopefully it's quick, so I can get home Thursday. Because I still got to go to the mall to get some clothes for the wedding. Now I told myself I wasn't gonna wait to the last minute to get clothes for this wedding. I had planned on ordering something on Amazon. You know, Amazon, they have the try before you buy. Obviously, Amazon's not sponsoring this video, but they have the try before you buy. And I was planning on getting some clothes so I can just try on and keep what I wanted and send back. Because I actually do need to get a suit. I have dress clothes, but I've been wanting to get like a new suit to have. You know what did Steve Harvey say? Get you a green suit? No, not a green suit. Get you a black suit, a gray suit, and all that. And you can have 75 different combinations. I don't know if I'm doing all that, but I definitely need a new suit for formal events, because my old suit it's so old and I don't like it, and I definitely don't want to wear that. So I got to make it to the mall Thursday, so hopefully I can make it home early, or I'll just try to stop along the way. I did not mean to wait to the last minute to get the clothes for this wedding, but you know, it is what it is when you're an OTR trucker. You ain't really got plenty of time to do stuff, but it should be a nice long weekend. Looking forward to it, going right there, Lido Beach, Siesta Key, all that good stuff right there. We weren't sure if the wedding was going to be still going because of the hurricane and stuff that went through. But the venue where we're going to be at, it was untouched by the hurricane, thank goodness. But prayers for everybody else who's went through stuff. We've always had hurricanes because I live right there, like right there at the Florida-Georgia line. Also not sponsored. I live right there at the Florida-Georgia line, so if anything ever hits like right there in the Gulf, then then we have some big issues. So being so close to the coast, we've actually never had any hurricanes cause any major damage. We've had trees and power outages before, but we've never really, other than Hurricane, I think was it either Hurricane Matthew or Hurricane Irwin? I think those were the two that actually hit pretty much direct, but we still really, by the time it got to us, it would always die down. So thank God for that we never really had to deal with anything like that. So anyway, we're gonna wait and to back into bay number 3. All right, just real quick, so I got 2 loads, 2 deliveries, this back half and I have a set of these on both sides, as you see there, and then the back half is gonna get delivered here in Macon, and then all this on the pallets in the middle is going to Tampa Bay Steel. We just got unloaded here in Macon. Now I'm gotta retarp the load and put away all my stuff, and then we're gonna head on to Tampa. Now, all this has been done, and look at this. I got 9, I still got, focus, firecrackers. I still got 9 hours left. Well, sorry, I got 1 hour left before my reset. Now, I haven't started my clock yet, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do my clock. I'm gonna put away this stuff first, then I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna tell you guys how to run your clock, how you should be running your clock to make sure you can get the most time out of it. So I got like less than an hour here to retarp this and do all that, which is good because I want to go ahead and get my 10-hour break and get a full clock so I can drop down to Tampa. And then I doubt I'll get unloaded today, but what time is it? It's 9 o'clock? Yeah, I need to hurry up. All right, so I'm gonna do this real quick. All right, guys, so it is still Wednesday, and we made it here to Tampa to drop off the second half of this load, the final half of this load. And for some of you that have been following me since my TMC days, this place may or may not look familiar, but Tampa Bay Steel. This was, I've been here a few times actually. Let's see if we can get a good little, yeah. But I've been here a few times. I remember coming here with my trainer the first time. We slept here, and then I've been here probably like 4 times counting this time with first time with Central Oregon, because they don't really like to come to Florida, because I already talked to my dispatcher, and I'm going deadhead home. So it's about a good, what, 300 some miles for me to deadhead home, which is fine. I would have loved to go up to James Hardy right there in Plant City, but it is what it is. That's like I said, one of my favorite places to pick up. But your hands get real dirty when you flatbed. Look at that focus. I didn't even know the camera could focus like that. But yeah, your hands get dirty. Yeah, I didn't know the camera could focus like that. Cool. Yeah, when you're a flatbedder, especially when you're dealing with steel, you're gonna get all the grease and oils on you from the steel. But yeah, so not a bad week this week. Didn't get too many miles because I'm cutting it short today. I don't think I'm gonna get paid to deadhead home, which obviously, you know, taking a few days, and I'm coming right back down here, like I said before, coming right back down here to go to a wedding in Sarasota, which is probably like a good, what, 40 minutes from Tampa. So I'll be in Sarasota the weekend. Hopefully I get some good footage of the beach and everything. Probably be the last beach trip. It definitely probably will be the last beach trip of the year, because it's getting ready to get cold. Winter is coming, and I still got to get some cold gear. I don't know how far west I'll get because of the holidays and stuff. November, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I don't know how far west I'll get because I plan on being home a lot more these last few months of the year. But yeah, so I'm gonna take you guys inside real quick and tell you how I run my clock, and not necessarily how you should run your clock, but if you're a flatbedder, we operate in the daytime, so I don't know about dry van and reefer guys or whatever else. Yeah, so I'm gonna take you inside and I'll tell you how I run my clock. All right, guys, so real quick before I get started here, I made myself some burgers on the George Foreman grill. The cheese, I let it melt to the bun, so it's all melted and everything, but I'm gonna eat this real quick and then we'll get into it. All right, guys, so been waiting long enough. So I just kind of want to tell you a little bit about how I run my clock. It took me a while to kind of figure out how to run my clock. So when you go through training and everything, at least with TMC, they take you through the paper logs. You really spend the majority of your time on the paper logs, but at the same time you're learning the logs. But honestly, I doubt you will ever have to really use paper logs. I mean, obviously some technology does go down, and maybe, I don't know. I feel like I could possibly use them if I needed to, but hopefully not. But so how I run my logs. Now, my trainer taught me a little bit, and then I ran into a few guys over the road, and then I watched a few YouTube videos. So I've kind of developed my own type of strategy when it comes to running my clock. So my goal when I run my clock is to set myself up the best situation that I can set myself up to get home. Like today is Wednesday, and I'm deadheading home tomorrow, and I'll have a full clock to get started. I won't start my clock until I leave here. So what I do starting out, let's say I leave out on a Sunday. No, let's just do how I normally do. I like to leave out on Mondays, especially if I've been out 2 weeks. I like to get home Thursday or Friday and stay all through the weekend, and then leave out on Monday morning. So I like to start my clock early, and I've mentioned this before in previous videos. I like to start my clock early, and I learned that technique from one of the guys here at Central Oregon when I swapped trailers with him. He said that he starts his clock at 3:30 in the morning, between 3 and 3:30. And at first I was like, that's insane. Why would you start your clock that early? And then I realized whenever you get to truck stops at 5 and 6 o'clock, you've got people that have probably been there from like noon. And that so he starts his clock basically so he can park up early. And, you know, you get a lot more accomplished when you do start your clock at that time. So I have actually seen other videos. I know Trucker Brown had posted a video. It was an old video, actually. I stumbled across it. And he said that, I don't know if it was his trainer or just a guy he knew or whatever, but he taught him to run his clock. As soon as your 10 hours is up, get up and start moving. And once again, I thought that was insane, but then I thought about it and I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense. You save a lot of time. You can get through a lot of traffic. So anyway, how I run my clock, I start between 4 and 4:30, and that's still pretty late, but depending on what you got to do, where your delivery's going, or if you got an all day of driving, then that's perfect. But I mean, anything before 4 o'clock, I think is perfect. So if you can start your clock at 3:30, 4 o'clock, you're doing good. So I run my clock, run it to the end. Now let's say I got a delivery. Now this is where it really comes in, where it's a little bit different. So when I first started, when I was at TMC, I used to get angry. I used to get upset because I didn't know about stopping my clock. Now my trainer tried to teach it to me, but it's just one of those things you don't like, at least for me, I didn't understand it until I had to get out there and actually use it and actually do it. So if I'm getting loaded and unloaded, which most time that's going to be in the same day. So I get unloaded in the morning. Let's just say I started my clock right at 4. And it takes me about 4 hours to get to my location, and then the place is going to be open. So it's 8 o'clock when I get there. And let's just say it takes me about an hour to an hour and a half to get unloaded. So I get unloaded. I won't stop my clock there. I want to get my next load. I'll actually go back on duty or just stay on duty if I know I don't want to stop my clock that early. My goal, I want to stop my clock when I'm getting loaded. So when I go to pick up my load and I get there, I go to on duty, loading, unloading, and then I spend probably about a few minutes in that, and then I hit sleeper berth. And that's when I'm going to do my 2-hour sleeper berth split. So it took me a while to kind of understand the split log, but basically if you sit for 2 hours, then you can rest for 8 hours and start your clock back. Most of the time I won't even start my clock at 8 hours. Like today I woke up and I had 5 hours on my clock because I did a split yesterday, but I didn't need to use it. I just went ahead and waited my 10, and I'll explain that because I said I'll explain that later, or earlier. So basically I'll split. And what somebody taught me is you want to split log every single day. You don't necessarily need to split log every single day. It's not necessary. I only split log when it's necessary, and that's when I'm getting loaded or unloaded, like I said. So what was my scenario? I get there at 8, and let's say it takes about an hour and a half to unload me. I don't want to stop my clock, so I hop back on the road and I drive. Let's say my bounce is 2 hours. Let's just keep it simple. So I've already driven 4 hours, still been on duty for, let's just say, another hour. We'll keep it simple. So at this point I've been on duty for 5 hours. It takes me 2 hours to get to my next location. So I've already driven 7 hours. So I got 3 hours left on my clock. What I'm going to do, I want to be able to have those 3 hours. So I go in sleeper berth, kills 2 hours. I get those 2 hours back, so I still got 3 hours left to drive because your 14 hours is going to be still ticking. Now, I'm not going into the heavy math on this. I'm just kind of, hopefully this is making sense. But you got 3 hours left, and you're in sleeper berth at the shipper. You get loaded, you get strapped up and everything. Let's say you got about probably 15 minutes left on the clock before you hit your 2 hours to get you in that sleeper berth. Sometimes I've had even an hour, and I definitely want to wait so I can get those 2 hours back and stop my clock. And then sometimes like I said, if it takes you 3, 4, 5 hours to get loaded, then you can do sleeper berth there too. But so the main thing is you just want to stop your clock when necessary. Like I said, I don't stop my clock when I'm getting unloaded in the morning or whatever time I'm getting unloaded. If I know I'm gonna get if I'm gonna pick up another load, that's when I want to stop my clock. So that's kind of how I work it. Pretty simple. Like I said, it took me a minute to really understand how split logging works and all that. But as soon as I got it, I do it all the time. So I don't have an issue running my clock anymore, especially with the new tips starting early in the morning or starting as soon as your 10 hours is up. I don't have any issues anymore with running out of time, because I used to run out of my 70 because I didn't know how to manage my clock. And then with flatbed you got to stop the first 50 miles to an hour, and then every 3 hours or either 150 miles, whichever comes first. So once you learn how to manage your clock, you'll be good. Especially when you got, I've never been late on a load. Have I? No, I've never been late on a delivery, or I've been late on like shipping, because sometimes I'll get a load where I'm bouncing 3 hours and the trucks are governed at 65, so I can't make it that far. I can only drive 65, and so that I've only been late on picking up, but I've never been late on delivery. So you learn how to manage your clock, you'll be good. But there's a lot of other stuff that's going on. I mean, winter's coming. I'm gonna put out a video about winter. This will be my second winter. If you guys start following me early on, you know I got my truck in the winter when I was at TMC. I picked it up in Brownsburg, Indiana, and I was able to go through some snow and ice. You can go back and look at that video. It was one of my first few videos. But I don't know how far I'll get out west this year or up north to deal with any snow and ice, but I do have chains on this truck, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, guys, I think that is it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I still haven't situated the whole thing with the $100 giveaway, but just be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna post a link. If there's not a link in this video, there'll be a link on the next video, and I'll probably run that for like a few weeks because we should be at 500 subscribers by then. But anyway, guys, like I said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.